Is your family acceptable? Is your family acceptable to God? Is your friends acceptable to God? So we're living in the end times, and these times is what Matthew 10:21 says, brother will betray brother to death. Brother will betray brother to death. Now, there's two types of deaths, and we know that, physical and the spiritual. So it could be both. And a father his child, children will rebel against their parents and have them put to death. And that's the literal death. So brother will betray brother, and that is the time that we're in. Children will rebel against their parents, and parents against their children. So Matthew 7:23 says, But I will repay, I never knew you. Depart from me, you who break God's laws. So this is the end time on Judgment Day. When people is running up to God saying, Lord, Lord, he is going to say, I never knew you. Depart from me, you who break God's laws. So if God is saying that, get away from me, you lawbreakers, then why ain't you doing the will of the Father? Why ain't you getting away from the lawbreakers? How can you walk hand in hand with the lawbreakers? How can you be unequally yoked with the lawbreakers? You got you a bad boy or a slut or a bad girl, whatever you got, a fag, a dyke, you who break God's laws, God is saying, depart from me. Psalms 119:63 pretty much says, birds of a feather flock together. A man is known by his company. So if you hanging around all sluts, can you be the virgin around all sluts, or is everybody looking at you like a slut too? Can you hang around weed smokers? You get contact high, but you're not a weed smoker. So God is telling you you're known by the company that you keep. Those who have the fear or have no fear of God before their eyes seldom desire the society of the saints. What does that mean? Ungodly people don't want to be around godly people. They mock you. They laugh at you. You stupid. You crazy. You insane. What they call a righteous nutcase is what they call you. A righteous nutcase. So those who have no fear of God before their eyes seldom desire the society of the saints. So why would the saints be desiring the society of the sinners? Make no sense. So it has become them or us. Jesus isolated all of Israel as a sign and taught, go nowhere among the Gentiles. So you don't go among the other nations, you stay isolated as a people unto yourself. But they teach you isolation is bad. Segregation is good. But it goes against the teachings of Christ. But that's another topic. 1 Corinthians 15:33, and it says, don't be deceived. Bad company corrupts your good morals. Bad company corrupts your good morals. So how can you be in the midst of bad people and not get corrupted? Because you seeing and hearing corruption all day long. If your family is corrupt, move out. Proverbs 13:20. He who walks with wise men will be wise, but the companions of fools will suffer harm. So as long as you're around ignorant people, bad things continue to happen. Why? Because they're damned, they curse, and they're always doing something. They're always doing something, And you know what's funny? Don't the good person always get hurt? You got these evildoers and stuff like that, and then some good person goes around them, and they end up being the one getting shot or hurt. It's a funny thing. And it seems like the evildoers, they hardly suffer any harm. That's because they're going to hell. So they get to enjoy their life. 1 Corinthians 5:11. But actually, I wrote to you not to associate with any so-called brother if he is an immoral person, if he is covetous, if he is an idolater, if he's a reviler or a drunkard or a swindler, not even to eat with such a one. So they can't eat with you. You know what I mean? Yeah. So what is all of this saying so far? Good belong with good, evil belong with evil. We are not to associate with each other. We are not to associate because evil corrupts good morals. The fool brings harm to you. Anybody who hangs around them. Psalms 26:4-5. I do not sit with deceitful men, nor will I go with pretenders, forgers, fakers. I hate the assembly of evildoers, and I will not sit with the wicked. So the believers don't walk hand in hand with the wicked. Psalms 1:1-4. How blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked. What do you mean? You don't listen to what they have to say. They have nothing to say. Either you're going to talk about God or you're going to talk about worldly things. You're going to talk about lust. You're going to talk about what Chris Brown did. Soulja Boy. Miley Cyrus. Nor stand in the path of sinners, nor sit in the seat of scoffers. But his delight is in the laws of the Lord, obeying the commandments of God. Okay, every word God is saying here is a commandment. And what is these commandments? Isolate yourself. No. Psychology teaches us if you isolate yourself, you'll go insane. No, you won't. I've done it, and many people have done it. And we're still saying, see, cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. Yeah, we're still saying, sane is belief in the Lord. Sane is following God. Insane is following the world and then going to hell. Insane is gaining the whole world, being the rich man, and you can't pass through the eye of a needle because you'll go to hell. That's insane if you logically think about it. They're insane. We're not. We know we have to stand before God's judgment. They're insane. They're playing the game. And what are they playing with? They're weighing their soul up against hellfires. God's not playing with them. 2 Corinthians 6:14-15. Do not be bound together with unbelievers. See, how many times do you have to hear that? Because you're getting judged. And this is what you're getting judged on. Did you or did you not obey the commandments of God? There is no plea. You can't plead with God. People think they're going to go there and beg God to go out to save them. You hear what God is saying. They're begging him. Lord, Lord, please, please, Lord, Lord. I don't know you. Depart from me. What did depart mean? Go to hell. That's a nice way to say it. So what is God's commandments? What is it like? 7 verses already to say, don't. Can you hear? Don't. You got these women dating these guys, and the guys are just screwing them over, and they trying to get the guy into the Lord, or the woman is screwing the guy over, and he trying to get her to the Lord. How? They made their choices. They want to be cheaters. They want to be out in the world. They want to do everything. They want to, party. They want to weed smoke. They want to drink. They want to have some fun. They want to explore new things. What's done in Vegas stays in Vegas, huh? So they go out and screw a bunch of people and they come home to you and kiss you in the mouth? Hell no. Bye-bye. I don't need all that. You need somebody who have the fear of God, so they're not going to go do that to you. Because they fear that they got to stand before God's tribunal. For what partnership has righteousness with lawlessness? Or what fellowship has light with darkness? Or what harmony has Christ with Baal? Or what has a believer in common with an unbeliever? An unbeliever is anybody, even a hypocrite is an unbeliever. A hypocrite is an unbeliever until they turn 100% and submit 100%. Ephesians 5:11. Do not participate in the unfruitful deeds of darkness. What did that mean? Their deeds don't count. They have no good stored up. They have no good stored up. So when God is weighing the balance on the day of judgment, they have no good. Because all of their works is unfruitful. All they doing is enjoying this life until they go to hell. Most people don't know this stuff, but I'm telling you. But instead, even expose them. And that's what I'm doing right now. It's like, who are you to judge? Ephesians 5:11. God said, expose them. Even instead, expose them. Ephesians 5:11. Revelations 2:2. I know your deeds, says God, and your struggle, your toil, your perseverance, and that you cannot tolerate evil men. Who? The apostles? You cannot tolerate evil men. Then how are you tolerating evil men when you know they're evil? You know what evil people do? They making you join them. They making you make a choice. Accept their homosexuality. Accept it. Accept their gang banging. Accept it. Accept their drug use. Accept their alcoholism. Accept their sluttiness. And then what is God saying? It's unacceptable that you cannot tolerate evil men. And you put to the test those who call themselves apostles. Do you smoke? Do you drink? You put them to the test. Test all things. Discern. The believer discerns everything. And they are not, and you found them to be false. And you found them to be false. But they doing what? They calling themselves apostles. And they are not. And you found them to be false. People will come to my page and say, well, you use profanity. You're false. Therefore, it discredits everything that you said about God. It discredits nothing. If God is going to be angry at me for saying a cuss word, then let him be angry at me. You tell me in the Bible where I'm going to go to hell for saying a cuss word. You tell me in the Bible where it says the English language is the language of God. You tell me where God said these are cuss words, or did man say those were cuss words? Don't add or subtract to the book. And that's why I don't give a damn about you getting mad at me saying damn. Because it ain't nowhere in there where the English language is acceptable to God anyway. It was written in Hebrew. It wasn't written in Latin or any of those other languages. It was written in Hebrew. It wasn't even for those people. It was only for Hebrew, the lost tribe of Israel. I was only sent, says Jesus, to the lost tribe of Israel. They try to make it a worldwide event. Oh, Jesus was sent to the world to save the world. Lies and deception is not in the book. If someone put that in the book, like Paul of Tarsus, who is not Hebrew, who is a Gentile, and Jesus says don't go nowhere near the Gentiles, how do you get revelation? See? Revelation 18:4. I heard a voice from heaven saying, come out of her. Come out of where? America, my people, so that you will not participate in her sins and receive her plagues. Don't they all got diseases? I was reading some polls or something, or some stats about I think it was New York or Philadelphia, where they were saying 70 or 80% of the people who go out and party have herpes. Nasty business, people. So I'm going to say it again. You're choosing, brothers and sisters, you're choosing them or God. It's us or them. How come they can't accept our way as righteous? How come they can't accept it? Our way is sane. Our way we get along and love each other. That's what the book is for. It's just a book of guidance. And what does that book of guidance do? It teaches us how to respect and love and live in harmony with each other. And it teaches against them. That's what they don't like. Raptor News.